Leslie and I met on Tinder. Well, a dating app, for those that don't know. I'm a railroader, so I didn't really have much of a social life when we did meet. And I think we had Mexican. It was our first date. We progressed our relationship quite rapidly. I think within a year she was pregnant and we were getting married.
I hadn't been in a church atmosphere in a while because I was a skydiving instructor, and after we got pregnant with Harper, it was when I decided to go search for a church because I wanted to raise her in one.
When we got married, I was still having fun. Too much fun. I wasn't dedicated. I stayed out at the bars and drinking and fighting, and I struggled a lot with alcoholism, but I didn't realize that I was struggling with alcoholism. And unfortunately, after Harper was born, I suffered a pretty severe motorcycle accident that you would think would kind of knock some sense into me, and to an extent it did, but not nearly enough. So I got baptized, and I was still very banged up. After my accident, Shannon baptized me, and even still, I don't know that I can say for a fact I didn't fully surrender myself.
Well, we really had a really bad couple months, and he said he was going to leave, and I told him to leave and not come back. I remember that day I had to take Harper for her 1 year appointment. I had to take her to the doctor, and I took her to the doctor. And after the appointment, I was driving home, and I felt something tell me to go to the church. That I needed to go to the church for something. I realized later on that I went to the church because I wanted somebody to tell me that, I wanted a pastor to tell me that it was okay to get a divorce. And I sat in that room for so long with him and repeated myself so many times to let him know what I was going through. And never once did Corey say that divorce was the answer. He suggested a separation and to do soul care, and suggested all these things. And I did tell him, I was like, there's no way Josh is going to do any of it.
I'm a very hard-headed person. I used to solve my own problems. I didn't need help. I didn't need to talk to anybody. It was my kingdom, so to speak, and I could fix my own problems. And it's very hard to fix a problem when you don't realize that you have one. Anger, I was looking back on it, I don't know how she tolerated my anger for as long as she did. And I was never physically abusive or anything of that nature, but I was just a very angry individual. Jealousy, selfishness. I commend her, and I commend the Lord for giving her the strength to endure that, because when I took soul care seriously, the second I sat down with Corey, I made my mind up that this is what I want to do, not for me, for our family. To build a relationship and get and know God. And it's been honestly the best decision I've ever made in my life. About a month after the separation, I was really getting into the time I was spending with Corey and learning about God.
It was different. I literally felt like I was married to a different man, in a really good way. We have had our ups and downs since you've been back. I mean, we have had some low moments that that I've had to reach out to church community, and talk. But I keep reaching out to your truth, as much as I don't want to hear it.
I think sometimes when we have disagreements, before I would get angry and lash out. And I think I try to consciously step away from the situation before I say something hurtful. I think for anybody that's thinking about getting a divorce, or if that's even a topic of conversation, my suggestion and advice would be to look within. Truly look within and ask yourself if you've given God a true chance to live within your relationship. Because if you haven't, then you're throwing away a relationship for no reason. To this day, sometimes I don't believe it, that we're still married and happy. It's incredible.